grassroots racers and fans to gather round. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for joining us for our landmark 40th season. We are your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Rado.
Hey, gang. You know what that means? It's time to go racing at a racetrack. It's the DeAngelis Construction Roadshow on Tuesday night, May 21st. We're live at Great Lakes Dragway, the world-famous Great Lakes Dragway, the oldest operating, continuously operated drag strip in the entire country. Opened in 1955, open 6 days a week. And we're here doing a great show to promote not only drag racing, but also get you tuned up for this big Memorial Day weekend. It's always a huge affair. Memorial Day weekend, holiday weekends have been the ever-present trademark for Great Lakes Dragway to bring a big crowd down to Union Grove. We're hanging out with you here at in Union Grove at Great Lakes Dragway. We're going to be here for a little while, and we got a lot of racers to talk to. We're going to tell you what the world of motorsports looks like in Wisconsin. We have some exciting Wisconsin NASCAR driver news on the show as well. Announced today that he's racing for Joe Gibbs Racing in the Xfinity Series. That'll be exciting to get to. We are also going to tell you that we've got some drag racers on the program as well. We're looking forward to seeing how they get their time in here at Great Lakes Dragway. Open 6 days a week, but man, these big races. Tonight is a great night to come on down and join us at Streetcar Tuesday and Fun Racing. So there's a jet car that's playing around here. We'll talk to Brian Mitchell, who runs that car. He's getting it tuned up for this Saturday. We also had a beautiful little rendition over here. We're going to talk about Import Wars. That's coming up Saturday and Sunday here to Great Lakes Dragway. You can set your DVRs and watch our show on Saturdays at 11:30 on CW18 Milwaukee. Part of our show today will be on that program on Saturday morning at 11:30. So set your DVRs for that as you support your local racing. We encourage you to support our sponsors, including American Foundation Specialists, Allied Resource Recovery, Walter Inc., they're hiring, and Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment in Muskego. Lots to cover tonight on the program. We will welcome you to come to join us or stay right where you are on racingroundupshow.com or like us on Facebook and follow our page. And you can see it there anytime you like, on demand or otherwise. Looking forward to talking to Tracy Dayfus with Steve Roden. We've also got Steve Sinclair, who's with K&K Insurance, the same Steve Sinclair we've had on the program in the past. And we're also talking to Randy Hennig tonight. He is one of the owners here at Great Lakes Dragway. Passion first and all foremost for these owners here, putting on Prubens a couple years ago. It continues to be evolving as a great facility you need to come and check out yourself. And we're looking forward to seeing you here tonight or perhaps next Tuesday at Paulie's when we're back in the studio at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. And we got a lot more to cover. Yeah. We're sitting right outside the quarter mile here at Great Lakes Dragway, Union Grove, Wisconsin, hanging out at the Torque Alley, actually. The Torque Alley's open. Come on down, eat, drink, have some good times with us here in Union Grove. We'll be right back with more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors. Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
For your next purge or project, go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver and Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Get ready to accelerate your productivity with the Midwest's largest forklift distributor. Walter Inc. offers top-tier brands including Lindy, Doosan, and Bobcat forklifts. With 17 locations across the Midwest, Wolter is the go-to source for high-performance forklifts and material handling solutions, and is fueled by a passion for short track racing. Count on Wolter's 60-plus years of experience to increase your productivity. Wolter is hiring too. Explore their unbeatable lineup of forklift solutions and more at wolterinc.com.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
And now to Cruise Alaska with Making Memories Travel next September. Enjoy an unforgettable 7-day Alaskan cruise from Vancouver on the Norwegian Jade. Juneau and Hubbard Glacier are just 2 of the cities that await you. Hike up snow-capped mountains and witness majestic whales splash in the Pacific. Then come back on board to catch an amazing show, followed by a starlit stroll on the top deck. Breathtaking views, all the amenities, all the memories. Cruise Alaska. Contact Mark at Making Memories Travel today.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Hey gang, how you doing on this Tuesday evening? We are live at Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. Can't thank Randy Hennig and the entire staff enough for having us here tonight. They support our shows, not only our Tuesday show, but also our Saturday show on CW18 Milwaukee. Lots to talk about this week. It's Memorial Day week. We're tuning up in a big way. This is a street racing night as well as a fun racing night for teams getting dialed in for whatever their racing may be, Import Wars or perhaps even the jet car that's going to go on the track, I think, in a little while here. Brian Mitchell is here tuning his car for Saturday's big deal. We'll tell you more about that as the program progresses. This portion of our show, live at Great Lakes Dragaway, is brought to us by D'Angelo's Construction. They are great people, great to work with. They do great flat work in concrete. They have a lot going on, so seek out D'Angelo's Construction for everything you need when it comes to your pavement needs. And they can do a lot more as well. They're a construction company. They have a lot of connections, a lot of business, and a longevity that's really proud as a racing company and racing family to be involved with on our program again in 2024. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose the Rapina Group, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Knowledge is power. You need to hire knowledge to get your deal done right. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and sell your house with Rapina Group. Visit rapinagroup.com. Our next guests on the Racing Roundup Show have a lot in common. Matter of fact, they hang out a lot together, but they also race. It's great to see that we're at Great Lakes Dragaway with a gal we had on the show, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago. Her dad, Jim, has come to the show, but Tracy's back racing again in a big way. Wisconsin Street Outlaws, what they have got as a project together. Let's welcome in Steve Roden and Tracy Diekfuss. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
The neat thing about it is when you reached out to me and said, hey, Jim, I'd love to talk about our show, our season, our series. I'm like, we're doing a show at Great Lakes Dragaway. Randy's invited us down.
Perfect.
And this is literally where you grew up, Tracy. This is kind of coming all together for you, isn't it?
It is coming full circle, absolutely. I started racing here when I was 10 years old, so
a couple years ago.
Yeah. Not going to age myself. Thanks to my dad who got me into drag racing. And through this, I've also met Steve. We've been together for 8 years. So, it just goes to show that, your life can be right here at Great Lakes Dragaway.
What were some of your early memories here at Great Lakes?
Oh, gosh. My dad took me here when I was little, and we were running around the pits, got autographs from some of the big names when they were here back in the day, and just watching Broadway Bob, on the jet car, going down the track. Lots of good memories.
Yeah, we got a couple of things on the desk here. Mark Goodman's allowed us to have a couple of Broadway Bob souvenirs here. Broadway actually took them to Mark's house because Mark's a big racing fan. This is a Broadway Bob bobblehead. We had one of these on our set for a while. This, according to Broadway at the time, said this is the world's only double bobblehead. So I'm just saying, there's cool things like that we have access to. Thank you, Mark Goodman, for bringing it down tonight to show us. But that's part of the history. You guys are part of the history as well. And what you guys did, Steve and Tracy, you said, you know what, we want to race, but we want to make it sensible for what we want to race when we get a chance to race with our friends and open up to others. How do you guys come up with this class now in its second season?
Well, really just sitting around talking about racing. Going into the 23 season, a lot of my customers and our friends didn't have a place to race. We were kind of left high and dry by some other groups and series that were, putting things on. And we just decided it was time. Talked to Randy and Claire and Marcel, and they supported us, all of last season. Had a really great time. Had really good turnouts, and now we're in year 2 and coming up to our next race in 2 weeks.
So there's a lot to say when it says Wisconsin Street Outlaw. You'll welcome anybody from anywhere. I mean, we're minutes away from the state line, but I'm telling
Outlaw Street.
Outlaw Street, excuse me.
Street. I'm sorry, it's okay.
No, I'm glad you said it the right way.
I don't want to mix it up with the other TV show thing that is out there.
Gotcha. So the Outlaw Street is containing what? Who was all drawn to this? Who do you want to be part of this?
Fast door cars, cars that look like real cars on 275 tires. We got last weekend Logan Furneaux with his Furneaux. Sorry, I actually asked him the pronunciation of that and I screwed it up anyways. Came from Central Iowa and won race last week. He has a beautiful 70 Duster and looks like a factory car. And it makes 22 or 2,400 horsepower.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So when you open the hood, it's like I can't put my finger anywhere because that's all motor under that hood.
There's a big Hemi with a giant Pro Charger. So, yeah, you can't do much.
Our Dave Schmalzer, I think, would be okay with that, right? He drives a Hemi.
There you go.
But not like that Hemi. I'm sure he'd love to take a crack at it.
Yep.
So you're getting a lot of people drawn. What did it start out as? How many drivers or teams or owners bought in on this and said, Wisconsin Outlaw Street, that sounds like something we can go and do and have fun with?
We had a lot of support early. The first race was a bad weather forecast. We only had 7 cars, most of which are all really close to here.
Okay.
The next one we had 15 or 16, and then it grew from there. I think the last race of the season we had 26. When we started out this year with 19 at our first one. So we've got some good support behind us and just trying to keep that momentum going.
And Tracy, you're still driving. Are you driving with this series, or are you driving other things to make you like a worker with Steve when it comes to putting on the Wisconsin Outlaw Street events?
I am still driving. I do not race with Steve in the Wisconsin Outlaw Street. I'm part of the bracket program here at Great Lakes Dragway and the IHRA Summit Super Series. We race 14 weekends or 14 races, 7 weekends out of the summer. So I'm literally here almost every single weekend between Steve's races, my races as well. I drive a drag car, a long, skinny rail, and goes about, it was 490s in the 8th mile, 140 miles an hour roughly.
That's going.
It's a good time, yes.
And let's remind those that are watching this that don't know what the word bracket racing means. I have a little knowledge. But now you're not only trying to go as fast as you possibly can, you have to do it, but don't go too fast according to what you're rated and what your index is, right?
Absolutely. So when you're bracket racing, you want to dial your car what you think it's going to run, and you don't want to go too fast, otherwise you break out and you lose. So when you're going 4.9 seconds in the 8th mile at the very last second, you have to make instantaneous decisions. If you think you're going to go faster than the other guy or you're going to break out, you got to make those decisions at the very last second.
Is it an internal clock, or is it a way to judge you, like the car next to you? You can say, okay, that guy had a really good launch. I didn't have the greatest launch, but if I catch him, am I going to break out? Am I going to go too fast?
Yeah, you have to have all of that going on the whole time.
In 4.9 seconds.
Yes. No
and
room for error.
Right, and shifting it.
All of that, yep.
The great thing about that program, too, is anybody can do it. You can bring any car you want, and because you can run whatever time your vehicle runs.
So when you're saying bracket racing, they will find a category for you.
Correct.
When you present your car.
We have lots of categories. So new this year, the junior drag racing program is racing both Saturday and Sunday with us in our big car bracket program. We have a street class.
Junior bracket racing now.
Yes.
Bring it on. Get them right in
there. And that's where I started. So,
okay.
And then we have our modified class, street class, top, which is including electronics in the car, and then also bike and snowmobile. So there's a new class for that this year.
There's a lot to that. And now, Steve, when you comes to Wisconsin Outlaw Street, you saw a need. what cars, what kind of equipment is coming to these events, including the next one coming up on June 8th here at Great Lakes Dragway?
We have a lot of, it's kind of diverse. We have old muscle cars, like I said, Dusters, Firebirds, Trans Ams. We have Mustangs, new body style Camaros, turbo cars, Pro Charger cars, nitrous cars. I mean, we kind of have a little bit of everything, and it's a great mix, and it's been a really tight group of racing in that.
How do you categorize then? How do you say, okay, if you've got a nitrous powered car, you're not going to be racing against a Vega, although John DiPiazza has a Vega that goes pretty fast. But in terms of how do you almost like have to instantly classify these cars when they roll through the gate?
So what I actually borrowed a rule set from a group up in the Northeast. What they do is they take the number 4 qualifier. So if they go 460 to the 8th mile, we're running 8th mile. They take 2/10 off of that, so it'd be 440, and that would be our breakout for the event. We haven't hit it yet this year. We hit it once at the first race last year. It's kept everybody a little bit tighter because
more honest. Yeah.
You can't just go out there and run it for all it's worth. You got to be smart about what you're doing.
And when it comes to racing, is it a point system you guys are doing? Is it straight up cash every time you guys race?
We race for cash, but it is a point system. We did, crown a champion. Ken Houghton last year was super consistent, had a great season, and he came back. He doesn't have his number 1 car back yet, but he came out to support at the first race, and he'll be back next week.
Right.
Where can we find out more about Wisconsin Outlaw Street?
Our Facebook group page, Wisconsin Outlaw Street. But we also have to thank our sponsors, because without them, there wouldn't be the opportunity to provide, the cash payouts for the guys.
Yep. We got RPM Transmissions out of Indianapolis, Motion Raceworks out of Iowa, Ricky Auto Works, who is one of our racers and has a local automotive repair business, General Truck Parts and Equipment, Alltronics Performance Equipment, Performance Electronics, Red Line Motorsports, AJ Performance and Machine, Outlaw Graphic Designs, and my own shop, Legend Racing Enterprises.
Great to have you guys here. Looking forward to seeing them. June 8th is the next race. It's on the calendar at GreatLakesDragaway.com. How about a big hand? Thanks for having to join us. Tracy Diekfus and Steve Roden. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
you.
Appreciate it.
And now we continue talking. It's kind of crazy. We just did a little segment there for television. I want to talk more about the passion you guys have. Steve, is this something you guys said, someday I want my own series. Someday it's going to happen. Or is it a matter of like, okay, it's down to this. Where are we going to race? How did that come about? Let's go deeper into that.
Just necessity, I think. I mean, I love this stuff. I mean, I get
Emotional talking about it.
talking about it.
Steve and I have been coming here since we were kids, so we wanted to create something that would, bring more younger people into this area and to bring people to Great Lakes Dragaway, because we don't want to see this place ever go away.
Yep.
It is our passion. It is something that brought us together.
Yep.
And there's something to be said. We honestly are here literally Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all summer long. We do live 15 minutes away, and we picked where we lived around Great Lakes Dragaway.
Yep.
And now you moved your shop closer? Is
Yes.
it at the same place you guys live, or is it a little bit closer to the racetrack?
a little closer. It's 4 minutes away. It's right down the road. So it's literally a couple of burnouts down the street.
So there you go.
Not that
I
I've
love
done it
the
yet.
phrase when Randy would come to our show and he'd get all fired up and do the commercial. He's like, just a burnout west of I-94, exit 337. You got to be there. I can't wait to have Randy do that again tonight on the show. It's going to be a highlight for me, believe me. But in terms of the closeness, that's important for you guys. This ultimately could be a test and tune for anyone that you work with, and that's a big draw, big advantage for you guys.
Especially for his business, he'll finish up a car and be like, all right, let's load it up and bring it down and test it out. We have the ability to do that being so close.
Yep. Yeah, and it's just a great platform. It's great for us to be able to be here. And, Randy relies on us for feedback on the racetrack, and we rely on him to give us his place to race.
Absolutely.
So,
Legend Racing Enterprises is the company you have started. That's the shop right down the road.
my dad started it 40-something years ago, and
Whoa.
we're still doing it today.
What kind of cars are you working on right now? What's in the shop?
Oh, man, a lot.
Because I talked to you before the show, you're like, well, if this guy needs that done, or he's going to do his own prep and I do the finish, or if I do the full prep, there's a lot you guys get to do.
We have a really pretty 65 Chevelle that's in the shop right now. 98 Camaro that I'm building for our next race that we're finishing up right now. 79 Camaro that we did a big block nitrous combination for. We got a couple of Cadillacs in there, Novas, Camaros. I mean, it's
And a blue dragster,
And
which
there's a
happens
blue-
to be my car.
there's a blue dragster. So basically anything old muscle car or late model performance, we do it.
And I know you also told me before the show your dream car is a car you and your dad got to work on when you were a youngin'.
Yep.
Tell me about how that's going to progress and what we may see on the racetrack someday.
Still have it now. It's a 65 GTO. I've had that one since I was 14, and it's never going anywhere. It's sitting in the garage at the house, and
It hardly gets driven.
yeah, it doesn't
It's a
doesn't get
showpiece.
driven much. But
Can anyone just walk by and touch it, or you have to get permission?
yeah, no,
Okay.
my neighbors
Shocking.
come by, sit in it.
They wanna
we
take
start it up, and,
pictures.
yeah,
All right.
it's
Prom
but,
pictures, graduation
Yeah,
photos.
we could rent it out for that. Absolutely, good.
Yep.
I'll get you some money for that
Could
too.
you? Yeah.
And I have another one now. We have one that we're going to start building to be something that can run in the series that we're starting here. And I've always liked to say to be the evil twin to that car. So
Yeah. Wow. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
When you have time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, when I have time,
In
hopefully
his
soon.
spare time.
Yeah.
So what are we going to expect June 8th? It's the Nitro Street Car Brawl is joining in with the Wisconsin Outlaw Street.
Yep. So on June 8th, we're going to have our class, Wisconsin Outlaw Street, and we have a new class this year, Wisconsin Outlaw, which is kind of a no-holds-barred, run what you brung. The rules are much looser. It's basically just a tire and bring it. Just, 33 10.5W slick, 315 drag radial or under, and hope you brought enough because you're going to need it.
You guys are really smart about this, and Steve, this is your business, so we want to make sure that not only can you find them at the rag strip every chance you can possibly have to get here to Union Grove, but where can we follow up and find Legend Racing Enterprises?
Legend Racing Enterprises on Facebook, legendracingent.com. I'm terrible at updating it because I'm just too busy, and it's me, my dad, and Tracy's dad actually comes and helps us at the shop once in a while, and that's it. It's just a small 3-man, 2-man operation for the most part. So.
Gotcha. Tracy, it'd be wrong for me to say, hey, how much fun are you having racing? Because you're racing and your dad is still racing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a blast. It's great to have the opportunity to race with my dad. He gave us a couple health scares the past few years, and to be able to go side by side down the track with my dad after he was cleared of cancer, and just being able to say that and have that opportunity is something that I will cherish forever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you still got a chance.
Yeah.
Still racing.
Still racing together.
Dad went 3 rounds on Sunday.
He did. Only after I left early, so maybe I should not be here when he's racing.
Hey, we're hanging out at Great Lakes Dragway again. Let's give a nice hand for Tracy Diekfus and her man, Steve Roden. You guys are awesome together. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
part of it. Thanks for the passion you bring to drag racing.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Appreciate it.
We're coming back with more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. We're live at Great Lakes Dragway on the DeAngelis Construction Roadshow. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Attention race fans. When you need expert tree trimming or it's finally time for tree removal or stump grinding, there's only one name to call. Making the Cut. Fully insured arborists
Making the Cut has the knowledge and equipment to get the job done right in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine counties. They specialize in removing trees from structures and offer 24/7 emergency storm service. You've probably seen the yard signs. Now it's your turn to request an estimate. Call 414-750-2525 or visit mtctree.com. Make the right call, race fans. When it's time for expert tree work in your yard, it's Making the Cut.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Precise Auto and Truck Accessories is your one-stop shop when it comes to adding style and functionality to your vehicles. Owner and late model racer Mike Grunberg has 15 years of experience installing window tinting, cat skin leather, seat heaters and seat coolers. There's a million accessories available. Ladder racks, trailer hitches, detailing, remote starters, and more. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells is a WeatherTech Diamond dealer. Bring your vehicle to the trusted guy, Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Good evening once again. We're hanging out with you at the Great Lakes Dragway, the world-famous Great Lakes Dragway. This weekend's a big Memorial Day weekend. Import Wars on Saturday, Sunday. We got some really cool things, including a jet car tuning up today to get ready for the big day on Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. We're going to talk to Randy Hennig about that in a few moments. We also want to remind you that this portion of our show, live at Great Lakes Dragway, is brought to you by D'Angelo's Construction. It's a D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow. We also want to thank our friends at BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Icon e-bikes go as fast as 25 miles per hour and 25 miles between charges. And now selling Be Cooler on a BMRE electric scooter. And within 30 days, including financing available, street legal Icon golf carts coming your way from BMRE. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon electric cart dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. I'd like to also remind you that Victory Fuel is a great drink. It's being produced by Chili Bowl Midget Nationals Championship driver and owner Kevin Swindell. It's really good. It's tasty good, and it's kid-friendly. It's called Victory Fuel. It's a drink fueled by electrolytes and charged with vitamins that is naturally sweetened and kid-friendly because there's no caffeine or carbonation. When buying online to get it shipped to your door, use the money-saving code SHOW to save 10% at checkout. It's drinkvictory.com, drinkvictory.com. Use the code SHOW, S-H-O-W, to save 10%. We also want to tell you that there's a lot going on. There's drag racing going on right now. There's guys testing and tuning. I also heard some drifting going on over here in the pits. It's kind of neat that we got all that activity on a Tuesday night. Where else do you want to be? It's a 6-day-a-week gig, man. This is Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove. You got to check it out and have some fun with us here on the program. We also are now joined by a very special guest. He is. He's special. Yeah. Let's do this for television and for you watching us here from Great Lakes Dragway. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. I'm Jim Trado, hanging out with you at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. I want to thank our next guest for being on the program. We're calling him the person who's making the cut on the program. He's a longtime race official and works with representatives of dozens of racetracks, including Great Lakes Dragway for K&K Insurance. Across Wisconsin, all roads lead to Making the Cut Asphalt Services. For brand new asphalt, paving, patchwork, crack filling, and seal coating, it's got to be Making the Cut Asphalt Services. Visit mtcasphalt.com right now to get started. I actually was on the job site at the MTC Tree Guys out and about in the southern part of Wisconsin over the week. Man, they do a great job, very efficient. They know what they're doing. Give them a call, mtctree.com or MTC Asphalt. Making the Cut is the answer. Now here's this week's person who's making the cut, Steve Sinclair. Steve, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jim.
Wearing the K&K Insurance shirt. This is exciting. When
It's
you
a
said
different surrounding for us, huh?
But the neat thing is, all the racing you get to do, you said, I want to be part of what's going on Tuesday because Great Lakes Dragway is insured by K&K Insurance, and I need to see what's going on there. great marriage here for us.
Yes. It's ironic. I come visit Randy about once every year. K&K requires us to visit a racetrack every 3 years.
How many is us? And how many tracks do you get to go to as just the guy?
Oh, I've probably got 162 in my territory, I would say. I've got the upper Midwest. So, you go out there at a drag strip. Some people may not know this, but the shutdown, for example, has to be twice as long as the track. So there's more to it, especially over time. Cars are going faster and faster. That's why NHRA is 1,000 feet now instead of, a lot of these places just they couldn't make the shutdown any longer. And Randy likes to do some different things here, and he wanted me to come out. Actually, they want to get people closer to the action right at the start here. So they're building
both sides now. They got a lot going on.
They're building a catch fence, just like it's. Actually, I had him in touch with Road America.
Yeah,
and seeing where I put him in touch with Mike Kircher, and I haven't even seen it yet. That's what I'm here for.
But those relationships go deep because drag racing, we know that the importance is immediate. That launch, that area, including in 2022, the entire launch pad area at Great Lakes Dragway is redone, and it married up to the track just perfect. And you got to have that just right for the racers. But also, it's got to be safe for the insurance guys, and anything that's updated like that, I'm guessing, is an important need for just to come out and see what's going on, get an assessment, say, okay, that's an improvement, or I got to see this to make sure it's where you want to be and where we need to be.
Yeah, so the carrier, K&K is just a big agency. So our carrier has guidelines that we've got to try and stick to the best we can. I went to Joliet
Route 66,
Friday, and hung out with Tony Stewart and stuff, and that was all good.
Tony Stewart made the top 16, qualified in the show, top fuel. Our guest 2 weeks ago on the show, TJ Zizzo of Illinois, #1 qualifier, and he knocked down Smoke in the opening round. That had to be pretty cool altogether because I like TJ Zizzo. He's a great guest on the show. Well, matter of fact, if you haven't seen TJ Zizzo in his full element, he's going to be on one of our CW18 Milwaukee TV shows. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago, and tuning up for that. #1 qualifier. Tony Stewart lines up next to him on Saturday for real. And your friend lost to our friend TJ Zizzo.
It's been a few years since I was in an NHRA show. And just like a lot of times I've come out to visit Randy, I've never seen a car on a track here. And that's how it is at a lot of my inspections. They're empty. I'm just looking at, I'm walking grandstands or doing whatever. And I forgot how much power a funny car or a Top Fuel had. And I was unprepared when the first round of funny car qualifying took off. I was sitting about 7 rows up, Joliet. I thought my eardrums were just ripping out of my head.
Wow.
And the grandstands shook. I was like, oh my, wow. I saw him at Vegas years ago when the Outlaws used to run Vegas during the SEMA. And they'd be going on simultaneously. The drag strip would be over here, their trucks over there. And that was pretty cool. Tony gave me the full, showed me how they're mixing their fuel and how the trailers connect. They got a gasket in between, and that's how they work out of them at the shop. They don't work in the garage. They work out of the trailer all week long.
Because it's so critical to get that down to that 45-minute turn to rebuild the engine every pass.
So even on qualifying day on Friday, there was a clock on the door that the crews can see. And they had more than 45 minutes, but they set it and they did it. I noticed there's not a lot of extra tools. Only the necessary stuff is out there. They're not searching around for nothing. It's all right there. It was pretty impressive.
Great to have the insights of Steve Sinclair joining us from K&K Insurance. Not only is he a guy that puts on a lot of oval races that happen to have dirt as a surface and big wings on top of the sprint cars, but Steve's also the K&K Insurance provider here at Great Lakes Dragway. And Steve, your dad's a champion here at Great Lakes Dragway?
1957. I want to say, super stock maybe. I don't know. All I know, the guy that beat him at I think they used to have the World Series of Drag Racing or something back here in the day. The guy that beat him that week, he beat the following week here.
Uh-huh.
But 1957, 57 Chevy is what he had, and it was ironic that back in the day, that car would be on the street.
Okay.
My mom actually drove it to work, and she said she used to cry because she couldn't push the clutch in. But then on race day, my dad would do something to it, and they would tow bar it.
Okay.
But this is, as I saw my mom today. I told her I'm coming to where you guys grew up at. She thought that was pretty cool.
Great stories. More to come. Steve Sinclair joins us during the show. Thank you, Steve, for being part of our program today.
Of course. Thank you. Pleasure.
We now have a chance to continue talking to Steve. I think I gave you enough pause, right? Yeah. Okay. I got it. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're okay. The neat thing about this is, as I see you in the element, Randy's right over here to our right. We're going to talk to Randy Hennig in our next segment, but it really does come down to getting it right, because you are insuring millions of dollars of liability. There's a lot of things that have to be put forth. Racetracks, you may or may not know, promoters have to come in and say, I will insure my event, or I will have the insurance if something happens, or up to this much. Who knows, if someone has an accident on property, unbeknownst to the owner, there's liability.
Yes.
There's a lot to that.
And that's the kind of stuff that's more troublesome than the racing. We know what we're getting into on the racing a little bit. It's the trip and falls, the parking lots. Mm-hmm. If you have a multi-day event, what's going on at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you have to be aware of and somewhat be in control of, and it's hard to be in control of thousands of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, and and the market is harder than I've ever seen it. There's not a lot of players in the game, and if you get yourself upside down, it could be hard the following year to find an insurance carrier. I know tracks right now that don't have any.
Wow.
Some that would surprise you.
So is it private insurance they have to go to? Because K&K is such a well-known motorsports insurance company.
There could be a few that don't open.
Oh, wow.
I hear the jet car. It's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I feel it. I feel the breeze. It's changing direction.
Yeah, it's not a thunderstorm. It's the real deal.
Brian Mitchell's getting ready to take a pass. He said he's going to blurp it for like 200 feet. He's doing that now. We're going to talk to Brian Mitchell between blurps, because we're hanging out at Great Lakes Drive with our friends Randy Hennig and the whole cast. Yeah, it is warmer all of a sudden. He has got that thing fired, baby. Come on down and join us tonight, or be here. They're racing every day this week, and this weekend, Import Wars, and of course, the big Saturday finale, the big boom at Memorial Day includes this jet car. We'll talk to the pilot of that car here on the show. Stick around. This is the Racing Roundup Show live at Great Lakes Dragway. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, it's the Lyle Navapel Tribute Night. See the CWRA Super Late models in twin features, plus UMA Late models, Sportsman, Bandit, Sixer Nation Street Stocks, and the Dairyland Vintage cars. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-90-94 at exit 85, just off Highway 12. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASC trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing a problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
Organized like the pros with Hefner Racing Products. Take your trailer to the next level. Upgrade your garage, streamline your shop. Whether you're tearing up the track or tackling home projects, Hefner Racing Products has you covered with the best made and widest variety of organizational accessories made right here in Wisconsin. Shop online now at hrpracing.com.
Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup.
On here, it's a race night. Almost every night's a race night. 6 days a week, it's open to Great Lakes Dragway. Looking forward to having you join us here this weekend. If you have a chance, Memorial Day is a big weekend, but they're racing 6 days a week all the time. Schedule is on. It's packed. GreatLakesDragway.com. This portion of our show is brought to you by your Allied Resource Recovery. Turn your recyclable metals into cash. ARR has locations in West Dallas and Waukesha. Find their full list of accepted metals at ARR1938.com. Here's another reminder to watch our TV show, our Set Your DVRs. It's on Saturday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Central Time on CW 18 in Milwaukee. Looking forward to having you as part of our program. Our guests now are going to be part of that program each and every Saturday and each and every Tuesday here on the program. We welcome in very special guests. Randy Henning, one of the owners of Great Lakes Dragway, and Mark Dietrich, the voice behind the drag racing here, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us here. And we're glad that you're down here, too.
We're fired up, Randy. When we were talking about this, our Greg Lapine said, Randy wants to have a show. Maybe the week of the Memorial Day. I'm like, bring it on. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm so happy to be back here at Great Lakes. And there's so many things you guys have done. Improvements continue. It seems like every time I look around, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see that there before. And I read about the article in 2022. You guys did a lot on the racetrack, and now it's evolving to where the fans get a closer look. This is exciting.
And we got new stands on the east side. They're not new stands because we had them there in 58, but they're new stands now, and they're back there again, and people are really starting to like those.
Randy, what's it like knowing that you've got feedback? We talked to Tracy and Steve and what they're doing with the Wisconsin Outlaw Street and getting them just that passion, that fire. It still burns deeply within you, but now you got them saying, we want to start a division. We want to get other guys, other gals involved and grow this here at Great Lakes.
Well, Great Lakes Dragway has been here for a long time. You got to be 70 years old to have come down for the first day. This is our 70th year, and This is my 30th year running the place.
Wow, that many already.
So, Tracy, I've seen her since she was running junior dragsters, and there's a lot of people here that have grown up and come to love the place as much as I do.
And we so enjoy the opportunity to have you on our program in the past and talk about how big Memorial Day is. It's big again. It's going to be a lot of fun this Saturday, Sunday.
And we're going to have Chi-Town Hustler.
All right.
So that'll be kind of nice.
That's going to be great. I also know that Jet Car that just took a little trial down the run, he's going to be on our program. But he said, I need to get ready for Saturday. It's going to be a big deal come Saturday. What time should we be here by?
Well, if you want to see racing for the entire day, get here at 10 and stay till 10. Otherwise, if you can't last that long, you got to pick out the best times. But the Jets will run probably 5, 7, 8, 9, and we'll have stuff going down the track all day long.
And we're going to have the man behind the voice. I mean, he has a voice now. I don't know if he'll have it by Saturday night, but let's welcome in Mark Dietrich. Mark, you've been here for a long time doing this.
I've been here for 20 years this year.
Led with the heart.
Yes.
You were here as a fan, a believer in the history of this place. It's got to be neat that you get to help carry that forward.
I tell you, it's an honor to be able to be a part of this after all the stuff that's happened here throughout the years. Just to be a part of it is amazing. I love it.
And when we're talking about this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, what was it like when you came here as a kid or even last year to experience what Memorial Day weekend is special here at Great Lakes?
One of the analogies that I like to use is, I come in, I get here a little bit late, and I hear cars running. And as soon as I hear that and I can smell the fuel and smell all that stuff, it just... the energy. I'm like a little kid again. It's like, oh man, what am I missing? What am I missing? And that's how it is every time I come in.
We don't want to miss your show. Saturday mornings, you do something pretty cool. You play some music that we won't hear anywhere else.
Oh boy, yeah.
Tell us more about where we can tune in on a Saturday, whether it be online or on radio in Milwaukee.
It's the Milwaukee School of Engineering's radio station, WMSE. It's 91.7 FM. www.wmse.org. I'm on from 6 to 9 Saturday morning.
And guess what? He does not play Madonna. He does not play Celine Dion. You get to pick out your own music, right?
Yes. And
what do you play?
Everything. mostly I do a lot of 60s and 70s local music, some weird rockabilly, weird Americana stuff.
I love the surf. I mean, it just
Even
takes you
Slayer.
right there. Yeah.
All the way up to Slayer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a little bit of everything.
Why not?
Right.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you have to play out here at Great Lakes? Does Randy give you a list, or are you like, hey, whatever you want to play?
It's pretty open. It depends on the event. We kind of pick the music for the event. We try and choose it so it fits. And it's open to, he has some requests he wants us to play every once in a while.
Randy, the music is on the racetrack. The music is part of these race cars, these families that have grown up here is part of it. You're a big factor in all this. I want to know, when you and your son Roy say, okay, we're going to put a schedule together for 2024, I don't think there's a square piece of paper or a square quarter inch on that pad that doesn't have something on it that's going on here at Great Lakes. How much effort does that take to put a schedule together here to run 6 days a week?
As soon as we would run our first day, we start running a schedule for the next year.
Really?
So we look at what happens. We look at how it was attended. We see who was here. We see what people like, and we start writing schedules. We have basic things that are going to happen because Labor Day, Memorial Day, and the 4th of July always come on Labor Day, Memorial Day, and the 4th of July.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the other stuff we can move around, and we've got like a wonderful event from the Brew City Gassers called Out-of-Sight Drags. And we've been moving that like a week here and there to see if we can find a sweet spot for it. They come out with a lot of cars, and we've got a lot of nostalgia here, and it's really nice. And you see what works, and then you emphasize it, and then you start trying different stuff because it always has to evolve. So no year is the same, but when you look at it from year to year, it looks the same. But when you get down to those days, it's a lot different.
And when you combine different disciplines, and there's a lot of different categories in drag racing, a lot of different ways to look at it, do you also say, okay, if I bring Import Wars in here, why do we have some nitrous cars with them? Why don't we have this and just give it a good mix for the fan and the competitor as well?
Oh, we're doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And we try to mix drifting in with drag racing because drifting is something that the kids really like, and it brings little kids out, gets their moms and dads to bring 10, 12, 14-year-old kids out here. I get calls all the time from moms going, my kid wants to come to your track. I don't understand. What do I have to do? And they want to come and see the drift cars. Then they see the drag cars, and, oh, boy, they want to come here more.
And it's in a very safe environment. This is the best place to race when it comes to that kind of idea that I want to get a faster car to drive to school with, or I want to see if I can do a drift like I saw Ken Block do on TV. This is the place to do that. It's a very safe environment, Mark, and I know that it's something that we know is going to bring more people here, but it's also the great playground for a lot more people than just going down the quarter mile.
Right. We have a special thing here, too, now with a radio-controlled car drag strip.
Really?
And it's a standalone drag strip that Randy built, and it's dedicated to radio-controlled cars.
Wow.
And we have a big event coming up in the middle of the summer, and actually it's August, end of August.
Okay.
4 days. People from all over the country are going to be bringing RC cars here and drag racing. It's amazing.
1/10 scale cars on a track
That's
is
the big ones.
purpose-built.
They're like this big.
Yeah, on a purpose-built
Yeah.
track. We made it to look exactly like this one over here. And it's great. It's over there on the other side of the property, on the west side of the road.
Wow.
And we're the only one in the country that has a purpose-built track to do this.
So I'm thinking that others may want to do it, but now they're all going to experience it here for the first time. And you're, again, setting that mark, setting the edge, saying, hey, guys,
well,
we're doing it first.
We've had this race 2 years already.
Okay.
And we have the absolute fastest track in the world for RC cars.
Wow. When it comes to the schedule, I said GreatLakesDragAway.com. There's an A in there. Thanks to the co-founder. She wanted to see cars go and drag away from the house.
That's correct.
I just enjoy the idea that the history is here. The racing is here. Mark, I want you to point out a few things that you get really geeked about when you show up, whether it be a car you haven't seen in 20 years or it's a brand new piece you read about and it's finally here at Great Lakes to have everybody enjoy.
Cars that come out here. Out-of-Sight Drags is going to be an awesome history of drag racing. Six Summer is going to be here again this year for 1 day. And those are, they're street cars. They're 6-second street cars. They drive them from track to track, and then they bring them here, and they run 6 seconds. It's awesome to watch that stuff. And all different aspects of it, I love it all. It's fun.
So I get to announce a few races of a few different series, but I have not had the experience in quite a while with 7 categories on a given day. For you, that's like nothing. How many different categories end up being on your, I need to know who these guys are, this gal is racing in this class, where's she at in points? And there's a lot to cover. As an announcer, how do you gather the information, or does it get provided to you and you just kind of massage it into what Great Lakes likes to do?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
A lot of it's from memory, from being out here for so long, the different classes and racers. We also have information cards. We put data into the computer for the racers for each category, and when it comes up and they come up on the screen, we know who it is.
Yeah.
And if
so
they're
that's
running
all
for
transponder
points,
almost transponder triggered then, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
that's great.
we have somebody keying in the data every
Oh,
time.
okay.
Every time a car comes up, they key in a number on the computer.
That's a lot more than people can maybe realize. Like, okay, I showed up on the line. It's my turn to do my burnout. And I'm going. No, you got to have the right class. You got to be in the right order. You got to be racing this guy or that gal, and you got to be ready in the same line. Randy, how many people are here to help put on an event when it comes to like this Saturday or this Sunday at Great Lakes Dragway?
We probably have a total of 100 employees to be able to run the event on Saturday or Sunday. We're on a bracket race. Maybe we only have 50.
Okay.
So we'll have this place packed elbow to elbow. We'll have 7 EMTs riding around making sure that nobody trips and falls and hurts themselves, and that make sure that we have coverage for the race car drivers.
Randy, if there's one thing to tell people about Great Lakes Dragway, whether it be you need to be here early, you need to be here often, you guys sell season tickets. Nobody else does that in drag racing, right? This is all part of the growth of you continually evolve this place.
That's correct. We decided that we wanted people to be able to come here as often as they wanted to and make the price per entry cheap enough that you could stop on your way home from work and check to see if there are cars you want to stay and watch, or have a hamburger on the way home from work and shoot the shit with your buddy, and then be able to come back later.
Yeah. That all makes sense, because now the guys testing and tuning here, folks that are coming to our show that have not been to Great Lakes Dragway, we've got some folks here that come to our show on a regular basis. They're not going to say, wait a minute, I saw that car on Tuesday. When's he running? He's going to tell them. You can walk right up to him, right? Every pit pass is a ticket, right?
That's correct.
Mark, in terms of racing, there's point systems. There's a lot of different series coming through here. What are some of the races we should really key on between now and, say, midsummer or late summer, knowing that the calendar is so active?
I still have a soft spot for Wisconsin Outlaw Street.
Yeah.
They put on an awesome series.
June 8th is the next race.
Yes. And the cars are getting faster and faster. It is awesome to see on this little tire. And these guys it's insane. And I enjoy that. I've been doing the bracket races here since I started, so I love watching that stuff. I love being part of it. If you've never bracket raced before, you come out on a Wednesday night and run. We have a ladies' night where ladies race for free. There's a bracket race involved for men and women. It doesn't cost anything extra for the guys to race. You can try out bracket racing and not have to pay extra or worry about, oh, I'm done for the night. You're out having fun.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to get started in that.
Absolutely. It's getting batting practice on a Wednesday before you go play the game on Saturday or Sunday, because you are really looking at the tree. You're trying to find your index. You're also maybe waiting a second and a half, which seems like forever, because the car next to you might not. It might be that their bracket is different than yours, and you got to square off.
We've had crazy. A lot of people come in and they find out they're a natural at it, and it's like, oh, now we're a part of the IHRA Summit Point Series because we love doing it so much, and they wouldn't have never done that without coming out on a Wednesday night.
Find out more at GreatLakesDragAway.com. How to a big hand for our guests here in this segment of the program. Thank you, Randy Hennig. Thank you, Mark Dietrich, for being part of our show and being part of what the Pulse is. This is the lifeblood here at Great Lakes Dragway. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it very much. We're back next with our on our program. We've got a couple of drag racers. Matter of fact, I hear some drifting going on as well. There's a lot going on 6 days a week here at Great Lakes Dragway. We'll be right back on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
427-1000. American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need three things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000. American Foundation.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For 35 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emission testing, tires, and complete auto, truck, and SUV repair. From oil changes to transmission replacement, 414-761-3250 to schedule your free inspection appointment. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th in Drexel to the experts at Oak Creek Automotive.
Grassroots drag racing is open to everyone at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove. Make GLD your home track. Come and enjoy the show or challenge your friends to be part of the show. Bracket racing for all classes and juniors opens this weekend. Pro classes, street classes, and even bikes and sled classes. Check our website for the most updated calendar and upcoming big shows. GreatLakesDragaway.com.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows, too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program. We cover the world of motorsports, and today we're going straight line, and we're drifting at Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, which is supported by Epic Media and Widener Automotive. Congrats to Jefferson Speedway race winner Brandon Reichenberger. The next two series races are this Memorial Day Monday afternoon at Groveland Sands Speedway in Plover. For all the latest news and in-series info, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. I'd also like to congratulate Road America, who today announced a partnership with Mission Foods, which includes the branding of the Turn 10 Bridge and the title sponsorship of Road America's popular beach viewing area. Not too far from that Turn 10 Bridge, Mission is now the official tortilla and tortilla chip of Road America. It's kind of cool. They're involved in drag racing as the entitlement for the NHRA professional series, and now they're hanging out at Road America as a sponsor, so support them as well. They also sponsored Cody Swanson's USAC Silver Crown and 500 Sprint Car Tour cars, so they're getting way involved in racing, and I think they have a tasty chip to choose. So that's part of racing. We want to support racers, right? Got a couple more racers with us here at Great Lakes Dragway. We're hanging out with a couple of guys that have a lot to do in a little bit of time because they're getting ready for this weekend and also June 28th, 29th. The Brew City Gassers presenting the Out-of-Sight Drags. But right now we're bringing in two guys that we're going to have a lot of fun with. Brew City Gassers, we've got with us John Reidenbach. John, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And the guy in between us, he was the one firing off the jet earlier. Brian Mitchell, thanks for coming on.
What's happening? Racing nickname is Tough Enough.
Tough Enough?
Tough Enough.
All right.
I was on Street Outlaws.
Really?
I raced the guys from Street Outlaws in season 1 and kicked Daddy Dave's booty on the street. First guy to do it.
Yeah?
First one to do it.
Did you run for pinks? Cash? What'd you get?
No, we did it for cash.
All right.
And bragging rights.
Good.
So it was a good time.
That's exciting.
It was exciting. But I'm glad to be back here at the track. You know, the street thing's fun. I grew up doing it. So when I was younger, I did it. And but now it's like the cars that even the new cars today are way too powerful for that stuff, you know. So I encourage all the young people to get out to the drag strip. And you know what? Nowadays, drag strips are like willing to allow you to do all kinds of different types of drag racing. So you can do bracket racing, you can do no prep racing, you can do different classes. So there's a lot of things to do. And you know, Randy Henning is one of the pioneers, track owners to do all of that. You know, so and I'm lucky to be here at Great Lakes Dragway to do it.
So you went from the street to just saying, I want to drive what the airplanes use. I want to drive a jet.
I
my
did.
Race car.
You know, it started with Randy and Danny Sullivan sitting at a table one day, and I was walking by.
The Danny Sullivan?
The Danny Sullivan. So Randy Henning and Danny Sullivan both sitting at a table, and I walk by, and I'm going to get myself something to eat, and I hear out of the back, I heard, Tough could do it. And I turned around and I saw the two old guys sitting there. I said, Tough could do what? What are you talking about? What do you mean, what kid Tough could do it? And then Randy said, well, sit down, I want to talk to you. And he said, well, you know what? He says, we're not getting any younger, and it's time for us to pass the baton to people who are younger to learn how to do this. And he says, what do you think about driving a jet car? And I said, well, I don't know. I didn't know how to respond. I just said, sure, I'll give it a try. And Danny trained me for the summer. I watched him do it, and I shadowed him, and we went over all kinds of different stuff and how to start it and what to do in different emergencies and things like that. And then finally at the end of the season, he said, all right, get in. It's your turn. And I was like, me? So I got in Danny's dragster, and I'll tell you, the first time I drove his car, I did not realize how powerful jet cars are. Everybody knows they're fast.
What's the biggest difference when you first got in that thing? What was the biggest surprise?
So, for one, it's the absolute opposite of a car that puts the power down to the ground on the wheels. So I have a blown alcohol 66 Nova. They are complete opposites. What the Nova is off the starting line, the Jet is at the finish line. So just the pull at the other end of the track for a Jet is incredible. They still 60 foot. A lot of people don't think the Jets can 60 foot. My car is very heavy. It'll still 60 foot like a 1.2, which is pretty respectable for 60 foot for a car that's being pushed by air and weighs, 2,500 pounds. Mm-hmm. The other, the Jet dragsters, they'll be in the 0.9s. Like their 60 foots are incredible, and they still pull harder out the back door. So imagine, and this is how, when I got in Danny's dragster, in order to get the car to launch, you have to be at full throttle. But you're on the starting line, and you have to hold it and stage the car at full throttle.
Yeah.
So all I can say is it's like holding back a freight train with your pinky toe, and you're sliding up into the starting line. Your butt's coming off the seat. You have both feet on the brake pedals as hard as you can go, hoping that you don't go too far because you can't go backwards. So there's no reverse.
Yeah.
So if you go too far, that's it. Runs done. You got to go. So you're trying to creep in at full throttle, holding this freight train back. And then I was telling the other guys, I said, what you do is you put both feet on the pedals, and then you lift your pinky toe on your left foot just enough to let the brakes just enough to creep in. And then you're praying the guy drops the tree quick enough. Now, the first time that I did this, that was my experience. And then when the tree comes down, then you have to hit the afterburner. And when you hit the afterburner, most of these jet cars make about 3,000 horsepower, or 3,000 pounds of thrust.
Okay.
Sorry, about 10,000 horsepower. 3,000 pounds of thrust on the engine alone, and the afterburner doubles it. So when you hit the afterburner, you have an instant 3,000 pounds of thrust that just knock you down the track. And by the time my brain caught up with my ass, because my butt was all the way down at the 8th mile, and my brain was still on the starting line looking around like, where did my butt go, right? And then I caught up, and I was like, oh, that was fast, right? And so, boom. And at that point, I was addicted, and then I started shopping, and I got my own jet car. For the first time, that was it. And I did it in Danny's dragster, and I actually made 2 passes that day. And Danny's an excellent teacher, and, I'm glad that he's doing okay after his little problem he had the other day. But, what a great guy. Great guy, great teacher. And I'm glad that I got to learn. I'm glad I got to do this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I get to run jet cars. It's a lot of fun to make the passes. It's fun to watch all the fans, sitting in the bleachers. They got their fingers in their ears with the big smile.
Yeah.
It's just a great sight to see from inside the car, and to get them all excited. And, and then you come down the return road, and all the kids are running alongside you and everything. It's just a great thing to do, and I'm glad I get to do it.
So what are you accomplishing tonight for Saturday?
Okay, so for tonight, what we did was we put on a different fuel control for the engine. So believe it or not, now here's another piece of trivia. So this old engine that I have is a Westinghouse J34. They were built between 1948 and 1972.
Okay.
I have probably the latter version. But the design was pretty much the same. And they would use these engines in the Korean War.
Okay.
They tried to get them out in World War II, but World War II ended before they finished the technology. Anyways, believe it or not, my fuel control was built by Holley. Same company that built carburetors. So they built the fuel control for my engine. And but these are very old, obviously. They're hard to find. And so I got a new one, which was going to be my spare. So we put it on the engine, on the car, so we could test it out. And that's what we're going to do this weekend, is try to run on the second fuel control just to make sure it works.
Saturday's a big day.
And Saturday's a big day.
And Randy said you're going to play in the afternoon. That's when you're probably going to make your runs.
Yes. And we typically do a run late afternoon, and then we do a run after dark.
Do you plan on knowing how many guys are here, or don't you care? Because you get to play in your car.
I just get to play in my car. I don't know how many Jets we're supposed to have. We lost a couple of drivers. Last year we lost Al with the hot blade because he wrecked and passed away. So rest his soul. Danny just had a problem the other day, but he's going to be back. I'm sure he will. But he's just out for this weekend. So I don't know how many we have left. But that's why I'm going to be here with my car, and I'm going to do my best to make up for the other guys not being here.
So you got Tuesday. This is only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
Coming back before Saturday?
Possibly.
All right.
Probably.
Okay.
I would say probably.
Okay.
At least one more time.
We are joined by Brian Mitchell, who's telling us a lot about his jet dragster. And I'm telling you, man, that thing sounds awesome. Are you going to do another pass tonight yet?
I'm going to do one more pass. I think the next pass we're going to do is a half track.
All right.
So
Just to get it dialed in.
Yes.
Now, when you have a car that has that motor and that much that much sheer power, what is it like to get tires to the right temperature or the right tires to use when it comes to Saturday and you have multiple passes? Temperature's going to change, atmosphere's going to change, which may not affect you as much, right?
It does not affect the jet.
Okay.
The only thing that the temperatures and the track conditions affect for the jet is when we're staging. If the track is too loose, we can slide. Like you'll see all four wheels locked up, and we'll just slide past the starting line.
Harnessing a freight train. I got it.
It is. It's harnessing a freight train. And we can run across a frozen lake, too. I mean, other than we can't stage. But we don't require traction to go. We only require traction to stop.
And what's the reaction like with guys that may have flown in the Korean War or friends of yours that are saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Brian, what you up to? And they look and they see that huge jet engine in there.
There's a lot of people that know me for my racing. There's a lot of people that know me. I do sound and lighting for concerts and stuff.
Okay.
So a lot of people in the entertainment business know me. Not too many people know both. So I have a few that are in the other world that go, you do what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a drag racer. I've been doing that a long time. They're like, no way. So, yeah I'm pretty blessed.
The passion is here for sure. And I got to tell you, I could sit here all night and talk to you guys. John Reidenbach is here with us with Bruce City Gassers. You have a big event coming up, but there's also energy feeding off of you, feeding off of Randy. I mean, this is like where we need to be, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a great track. You know, a lot of people don't realize one of the things that we're blessed with here is our return road is right in front of the grandstands here, so the spectators get to see the cars coming down the return road after they make their passes. A lot of tracks that you race at, they have the return road on the other side of the track, and the spectators don't get to see them up close and personal, which is a great thing we have here.
You think with drag racing, it's like blinders on, I'm worried about my run, my pass, but that's just part of the thrill for you as well, knowing that reaction is so immediate.
Oh, yeah. That when you take off and you let go from the Christmas tree, the way the track is prepped with the glue and the tire technology that we have now, that's a great feeling. You know, that first 60 feet is a blast, and going down the track is a blast, too. It's so much fun when you get somebody neck and neck when you match up and you don't know who won the race all the way down the quarter mile. It's a lot of fun. It's a good adrenaline blast.
So he's got himself a jet going here. You are part of a Bruce City Gassers. This is a big community of guys that are coming to race doing 28 and 29. What all goes into putting on an event like you guys are putting on here at Great Lakes Dragway?
A lot of work. This is our sixth year doing this, and we're going to bring back this year. We got a couple nitro altereds that are going to be doing exhibition passes for the spectators. We've got Neil Himden with the Bad Habit and Scott Gauther with Nitro Madness. Neil Himden was here a few years ago. He had his car, and he had set a record time. He was at under 6 seconds in the quarter mile, which was good for him. And then we're going to bring Shake, Rattle, and Run versus Kilpatrick's Bad Judgment. They're going to do a little grudge race. And then we have some of the fastest gassers, the Supercharged AA Gassers of America. 4 of those cars are going to be coming out. Those run sub 5 second, 8th mile quarter passes, and doing that with the straight axle and narrow anglias and stuff like that. It's a really good show.
How many guys and gals are within like a 50-mile radius that are part of the Bruce City Gassers, or are they from all over?
They're from all over, and we have a probably close to 60 members in our group right now, and there's a lot of people that want to join, but we're limited by how many cars we can bring to a lot of these events.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, we'll put you on a waiting list if somebody else doesn't make it. Everybody wants to obviously come to the big weekends, like we'll be here this Saturday racing. But we try to kind of limit it to what we have. But that's it's kind of crazy how many people that are into the gasser scene that are in the area that want to be in the club or come to the event. I know we've got a little over 200 cars registered for out-of-sight drags this year, so
wow,
should be a pretty good event again.
So this Saturday, while he's playing with the jet, we know there's a lot going on. Import wars are going on, and you guys are rolling in. But how many cars, and when should we be here to see you guys make your first passes?
We'll be here Saturday from 10 to 10. We'll be
Okay.
going through the day and probably get 3-4 passes in, and we'll probably have 24, 25 cars, something like that we're going to have. Part of the show. It's always fun. We're get us ready for the weekend that's coming up, and then we're also going to do something kind of cool this year. We're going to do the Hot Rod Rumble Run. One of our guys is in law enforcement. We're going to block off Highway 45, and we're going to do a little tour down KR to 45, go downtown Union Grove, end up at the Grove Bowl over there and have a hamburger and then come back to the track. So kind of try to get the people in the community involved in Union Grove and let them see what's going on. Yeah. And then Saturday night we have a band playing. Our president, Mark Davis, that's out in the crew. He's got Second Chance. He's going to be singing. We have a band after the racing's done Sunday night. But it's just a great event. A lot of the guys that we race with at other vintage races all come here, and we just kind of hang out together and do heads-up racing and let people make as many passes as they want to during the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
What I find is so welcoming is rolling in here, I know that there's certain pit stalls I'm sure that guys want or reserve, but in reality, you might be sitting next to a jet dragster. You might be sitting next to a guy who's never raced before. You might have a junior dragster trying to figure out how to bracket race. It's kind of neat that you guys can just kind of share this experience, and fans get an up-close look at all of that.
Oh, yeah, and we're all like one big racing family. You know, this is like our home away from home, and having the fun racing passes that you can get here and come out here. You may not want to race, but you may want to come out here and see what's happening. You know, and you never know what you might see out here testing. You might see a street outlaw guy testing out here or somebody else, because the advantage of this track being open 6 days a week, there's a lot of places they can't test. And then the other advantage is, too, the track, having all these cars going down it, gets a lot of good track surface. And with our new track surface that we have a couple of years ago, it's great. Yeah.
Do you drive yourself?
Yes.
What do you have?
I have a 62 Corvette gasser with a blown big block Chevy in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I get a lot of crap from all the purists, you know, that say, oh, you cut up a perfectly good Corvette that should have been restored. But I didn't cut it up. It was cut up in 1965, and they never finished the car. So it just sat in the guy's garage since 66, 67. And then I ended up convincing my buddy. He bought it for parts, and he sold it to me, and then I ended up finishing it. So
I have one crazier Corvette story for you.
Yeah.
Do you realize in 1964, when the 63s came out, the 64s came out, and they said, you know what, that thing down in the middle of the back window, that's a pain in the butt. I can't see around it. I need to cut mine out and get a 64 glass in the back.
Yeah, a lot of guys did that, and they were sorry that they didn't do it, and they put them back in again. Yeah, as much as those cars are worth right now.
Oh, man.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But creativity has just got to be part of that bloodstream you guys all live in.
Oh, yeah, and there's some neat things that you see. You know, it's kind of fun. You know, everybody wants to go faster. In our group, we're stepping it up. Everybody's kind of going faster, but with the straight axle, you know, and the ladder bar suspension in the back, you know, my car wants to wheelie really, really bad. I could probably go faster if I hung 100 pounds of weight on the front of it, but that's not half the fun. You know, it's fun putting a pretty good wheelie as long as it goes straight. Yeah.
I love it. Where can we find out more about Brew City Gassers and what you guys are up to?
Facebook, we have a Brew City Gasser page, and then we also are at brewcitygassers.com. We have our website. Another thing that there's the Madison Classics are going to have this Gary's Hot Rod Reunion June 15th out at the Racine County Fairgrounds. It's going to be a car show and swap meet. They're doing the first time now over there this year, and we're going to be displaying there on June 15th on that Saturday.
So if you have a chance to check that out, then you can come right over here to Great Lakes Driveway because it's open 6 days a week. I'm sure there's something going on that'll be enticing to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that'll be really cool.
Good. Yeah.
All right, Brian, when you fire off this Saturday, the intention is to go how fast with that jet car? Do you have a number in mind?
The fastest I've ever gone so far, mile per hour wise, is 252 miles an hour. So it'd be nice to top that.
Wow.
260 would be nice.
So he's got a bunch of friends with different cars and different configurations. How do you find yourself in a network of people when you need something for your jet car?
So the jet community is pretty tight knit.
Okay.
And we all know each other, and they're good people. You know, so you kind of just, if you need something, you just reach out and put the word out to the family and just say, hey, guys, you know, does anybody have this or that you're looking for, or whatever. And again, Danny's a big help for me, you know, so he pits right next to me too, so that's always kind of nice.
My last question for each of you is technology. We know that things should be getting faster. They should be getting easier to drive potentially with all the things that can be put in these. Are you guys talking about purity where this car has not been upgraded or touched or fine-tuned with electronics? I mean, when you're balancing everything you're balancing with the car you're driving on Saturday here, how much of that is technology from like the last 5-6 years, or are you doing computer tuning or anything like that might be?
Nothing.
All right.
The equipment in my jet car is from between 1948 and 1972.
Okay.
100%. In my Nova is a little different, although my Nova's a blown alcohol car, door slammer. That is also mechanical fuel injection, probably stuff from the 60s and 70s. The only thing that I do for technology for that car is data logging.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty state-of-the-art, just to get the information. But other than that, we tune it with a screwdriver and a 9/16 wrench.
Yeah.
And Brian, you got to be like welcoming to everybody, and to see this jet car go down the track. We got one more pass, he's saying, tonight, but you got to be here Saturday by 5 o'clock. At 10 in the morning, the Brew City Gassers are going rolling down the track. And John, the question about technology for you guys: you have to be welcoming to all people, right?
Sure. And
so how does that play into, I've got my stuff, I know what I got, that new technology, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're kind of have a tight criteria, especially for this race.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like 1966 and earlier.
Oh, okay.
So you have to have period correct wheels, the period correct stance, and the look. It's not any race packs or anything modern fuel injection. My car is a blown engine with 2 carburetors on it, which I'm switching over to mechanical fuel injection, old school from 1962.
Wow.
But the cars are going faster now because of the tire technology and the way that the glue is on the track. But the only thing that's modern in our cars is the safety equipment. We have a diaper on the engine, so we don't want to do an oil down, and the roll cages are up to NHRA specs for what we need for the speeds that we're going. But pretty much we're trying to keep a lot of the stuff old school. Like I say, the old school wheels, the old school look in the engine, interior, and everything like that. So a lot of people don't like that because they have a cool older gasser, but they have a modern wheel on it. And then you get the argument, those wheels weren't safe to go that fast. But then you look at these other groups like these Southeast gassers that are running period correct wheels, and they're going 520, 530 in the 8th mile with those cars. And they're 4-speed cars. They're hammering on them on the starting line. So I haven't seen any issue with it. But, it's kind of old school for our stuff.
Really appreciate your insights. It's a lot of fun. And you can find out literally by walking up to the rope or even just saying, hey, can I ask you a couple questions? You guys are here in the pits doing your thing, but also welcoming fans to come out and check things out here at Great Lakes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're down in the grass, down the middle row. We encourage people to come, bring their kids. We'll throw them in the car if they want to take a picture of it and let them see what it's like, kind of plant the seed to get them out here and let them do it. That'd be good.
For our crowd here today, how about a big hand for John Ridenbach with Brew City Gassers and Brian Mitchell. Brian, thank you for joining us between runs with the jet car.
Thank you. We're going to go get ready, and we'll make another pass in a little bit.
Oh, boy. Can't wait. Thanks again for joining us here on the program. More to come on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show, live at Great Lakes Dragway. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, it's the Lyle Navafelt Tribute Night. See the CWRA Super Late Models in twin features, plus UMA Late Models, Sportsman, Bandit, Sixer Nation Street Stocks, and the Dairyland Vintage Cars. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-90-94 at exit 85, just off Highway 12. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our programs, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
I want to thank again our friends here at Great Lakes Dragway for having us this evening. We also want to tell you that D'Angelo's Construction does a great job when it comes to concrete, flat work, and a whole lot more. D'Angelo's Construction is part of our road show sponsorship throughout the season. We're looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time for another D'Angelo's Construction road show on June 4th. It's at Oak Creek Automotive Night at the Cellar in Oak Creek. A couple more than a couple burnouts north of us here in Union Grove to Oak Creek and the Cellar. We have that information on our webpage, on our website, on the schedule page, RacingRoundupShow.com. See the racers at Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Landon for your next auto body repair of your daily driver or fleet of work trucks. Since 1974, 4 generations of racers have been getting it done the right way. They work with all insurance companies. Search Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook to get in touch with this family of racers and check out the latest award-winning classic car restoration projects. Again, Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook. We're hanging out next to the Torque Alley over here. Randy Hennig told me there's a brand new bar top in there. Beautiful in there. It's a full-service bar. Now the concession stand is right next door. I mean, you got everything right here. As Randy said, if you got a season pass, come on in for a sandwich and hang out, see what's going on, and come back on the weekends for the big shows. This Saturday and Sunday here, Memorial Day weekend, is going to be a big, big time. Check out GreatLakesDragOA.com for the time you have available, because they're racing 6 nights a week and big time on the weekend here for Memorial Day weekend. This portion of our show, we'd like to cover the short track scene. It's now time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. For cameras and alarm systems for your home or business, programmed card access, custom-made security doors, or on-call locksmith work, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. We'll begin by telling you that you're going to enjoy Bill Howland's In the Groove segment coming up here in a moment or so. It covers the Midwest Truck Series race at State Park Speedway in Wausau this past Saturday night, so stay tuned for that. Veteran racer Tommy Sexton drove Chris Klemko's Wing 604 sprint car to victory on Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. CK Contractors LLC.com brings us the Wilmot Raceway in Wisconsin wingless coverage. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, and more. Retention and pond building, they got that figured out too. Sexton is a 5-time Wilmot champ in several classes. He won again in another new class for him at Wilmot on Saturday. Congrats also on Saturday night's winners to South Milwaukee's Jay Orr for his street stock win. Joel Crowbridge earned the IMCA Modified main over Steve Mueller. This Saturday night is the return of the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints to Wilmot, along with the Wisconsin Wingless and IRA Lightning Sprints, making it all an open wheel show all Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. We also want to remind you that Sunday night, the tradition continues for the IRA Outlaw Sprints. They're racing at 141 Speedway this Sunday night in Francis Creek, so that's a big two-night weekend show for the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series. Diamond Wheels sponsors our weekly coverage of Dell's Raceway Park, your destination for stock car, road racing, autocross, beadlock wheels for off-road and dirt track, custom chrome finish wheels, and more. Check them out, diamondracingwheels.com. Mike Litchfield scored the late model win Saturday night on the Blystone Towing and Recovery Night. Winner of the UMA Modified feature Saturday night. Andrew Borntrigger won the UMA Sportsman feature. It was birthday boy Tristan Swanson celebrating a Legends win, and Heidi Koff won her first feature in the Bandits. This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, our Bill Howland will be there to cover the Lyle Nabafelt Memorial CWRA Super Late Model Racing, plus the other weekly divisions. Save money and buy DRP tickets in advance online at DellsRacewayPark.com. Congrats to Blake Nimmey on his IRA Outlaw Sprints feature win Saturday night at the Plymouth Dirt Track. Tate Hensley won the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints feature. Time curfew did not allow the MSA 360s to run their main show. Angel Park Speedway and Sun Prairie on Sunday night offered up plenty of emotion as close friends of Brandon Welty, AJ and Addison Dahlke, were lost in a traffic accident a little over a year ago, and it was the second annual Dahlke Memorial Race. Over $9 grand was put into the purse by friends and family and donors. So for the father and daughter who passed away in that traffic accident, they were well represented by their friends in Victory Lane as well. Last year, Todd Cleaver won the race. The first Dahlke Memorial, they were close with the Dahlkes throughout. BJ was part of his team, and they really had a lot of things going on. BJ Dahlke was a racer as well, and to see Brandon win Brandon Walty win this past Sunday night had to be special for them as well because Brandon was tight with the Dalkey family as well. So it's kind of neat to see that they have two of their closest friends going back-to-back in the Dalkey Memorial at Angel Park Speedway. Following up on last week's show guest, the Keith family, the 7th annual Keith Marina Race Against Cancer Sunday afternoon at Slinger Speedway was headlined by Gabe Summers winning the 75-lap super late model feature. Summers snatched the lead from Jesse Bernhagen on about lap 48 or so. Dennis Prunty started deep in the field and charged to second. Mats Kaler was fourth at the white flag, third at the finish. He passed Bernhagen on the final lap to score third. Last week's guest, Brad Keith, finished seventh, one spot better than Team Bonafide driver Nick Egan, who transferred in from the B main, which was Electric Kart's Brad Miller. Congrats to Brady Held for collecting his first sportsman feature checkered flag. Alex Oldenhoff won the 15-lap Bando feature over Oliver Weinkoff and Bentley Thompson. And this Sunday, there's fireworks this Sunday night at Slinger, so you can spend all weekend here at Great Lakes Dragway. Head to Slinger on Sunday night. They got fireworks going on there with super late models, Super Bs, Upper Midwest Vintage, and Figure Eights. All racing Sunday night. The afternoon racing at Slinger is now over. And it's now time to turn things over to Bill Holland, who was busy this past weekend. Here's Bill Holland and where he's been up to all over the state of Wisconsin, covering it for us here on the Racing Roundup Show with his installment of In the Groove. Let's go there now.